6 o'clock. First part of the agenda is approved meeting agenda. Does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Everyone look at the previous minutes of the last meeting. Someone want to make a motion to approve
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
February 19th, 20th?
Yes.
Okay, second please.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Board member comments. Anyone have any comments this week?
I had one comment that came to me just around scheduling of after-school events between two schools. One was Hosgood, one was, I don't know, St. Day. It was at the same time, and parents and relatives couldn't go to both events. And so, kind of make note of that and share with principals to try to communicate as best as they can, to not have that exact overlap. Like it was right at the hour, so they couldn't even be late to one or the other.
Yeah, it was two major events. It was last week. Hogsett had a kindergarten concert, and it was a lot of people there. And it was at the same time that Tolliver had their family night, which was packed as well. So anyone with a joint family, it was a struggle. So you're right, we have to do better about that.
I know that's happened with graduations before. I think we had our 5th and 8th grade daughters both campus. It was at the same time. That was rough. Made it work out.
Do you have any comments, Dr. Ross?
Yes, I do have a few comments. Just sending positive thoughts and prayers to Mr. Murphy, the driver of our bus incident this evening. But I do want to give kudos to our kids who did an amazing job during a scary and stressful situation. I also want to thank the local law enforcement. Danville PD handled the incident, and there were a couple of Boyle County sheriffs helping with traffic. The EMTs really took care of the kids and the driver. The fire department was there, did an amazing job. So just very grateful for all the support that happened with that incident. And then also want to thank our school leaders and resource officer from Hogsett Primary and Tolliver Elementary for being organized, prepared for the situation. I mean, even when I got there, Mr. Goodman was already on the scene calling families, and they had the manifest list from both schools, and just really helps to be organized. So very grateful for that. On another note, I want to thank Mr. Ball for choosing to be a part of school staff meetings. He's been taking them donuts and hanging out with them during their staff meeting professional learning time. So I know the staff is grateful for that. And also he popped up in the paper this week, I see, making his rounds. So kudos to Mr. Ball for doing this thing. We are excited about having our equity committee meet tomorrow evening. So we're looking forward to that. Denver High School teacher, Ms. Chassie McGowan, is going to chair that committee and work with Mr. Baker in doing that. I also appreciate the work that our board member has done in preparing, setting that ground. Ms. Weathers has been training Mr. Baker and also setting the ground and preparing the way for that to take place. So we're excited it's about to happen. Our girls basketball team was on tonight at City Hall, talking about meetings happening at the same time. Right now, or a little earlier today, I think the meeting started at 5:30, so sometime between 5:30 now, the girls were being honored at City Hall by the City Commission, during the City Commission meeting, for being district champs and regional runner-up. Just one game away from Sweet 16, so kudos to Coach Mason and Lady Ash for that happening. And then I just want to give a shout out to the schools. Lots of really cool events happened the last few weeks. Although we did have some scheduling snafus, and we need to do better about that. There were a couple of these events happen at the exact same time, so we'll have to do a little bit better scheduling those events. But last week, Tolliver Community had their family night, and I was able to pop in. It was phenomenal. Lots of activities. It was celebrating the students. Had this drumming event that was what do you call it, glow in the dark event. So it was really cool. And at the same time, Hogsett Primary had their kindergarten concert, which was amazing, and parents really pack out for those events. So that was really cool. This week, Bates having their celebration of learning Thursday at 5, so looking forward to that event. And those are all the announcements that I have right now.
Thank you, appreciate it.
What is Celebration of Learning?
Thursday at 5 at Bates. And it's a time for people to visit the classrooms and ask questions, but also see some of the projects and initiatives going on at Bates Middle School.
And they have the book fair, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Is there a place that we could be privy to the events happening beforehand? We received an email about the event at Hoskin, it was like the day before. It's just if we wanted to pop in.
So, for you all, for you all, I think it's all on, and I'm speaking real quick here, but I think all of it is usually on our newsletter, the newsletter that Ms. Moore puts out. And then a lot of it's also on social media. But if you want to, if you look at the folder that says the Sunday Sunset folder, usually they're in there every Sunday as well.
Yeah, and usually there's a ton of reminders on social media because I get so many, and it's great to see like what's going on in the
But it's kind of different though, because if you're not plugged into a certain
Yeah.
school,
Right.
it is hard to get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think
But the
Dan will.
newsletter, I can follow up to it.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions on the personnel notifications? Okay, we will proceed. Do we have anyone here to talk from the public? Okay. We will continue. Reports, staffing reports?
Squeeze through here.
We have a couple things that we're wanting to ask your all's approval for tonight. This would be for the next school year, not the rest of this school year. And they're in the report that you can pull up. But the first one is we have 2 school psychologists. You all approved their positions last month for next year. And Amy, our special ed director, she's been looking at some different data, and she feels like there's a need to add some additional days to their contracts for next year. So we're asking for 8 extended days for each position. The good news about this is Amy thinks she can cover it all through special ed funding, so it won't hit the general fund or anything like that. So we're asking approval for that. And then also 2 ARC chairpersons. We have these positions, and one of them focuses mainly on elementary, one on middle and high. And just because we've had an increase in special ed population over the past several years, they're asking for 2 additional days for those 2 positions for next year as well. But again, this can be covered by Medicaid funds. We get reimbursed Medicaid. So really, both of these additional days we're asking for don't hit the general fund. And then we're also asking for a .5 STEM teacher for Bate Middle School. Bate has rearranged their schedule this year to offer more electives, and in order to kind of complete their schedule, they need 1 more spot so they can add some electives in the area of STEM. And this would be a general fund position. However, we cut a couple general fund positions from this year's budget based on what you approved last month. So as far as comparing this year's budget to next year's budget, we're still under where we were. So we're not really asking to increase the budget. We're just asking to add this .5 back from basically what we cut last month when we approved all the positions. Yeah. So I think if you all are in agreement and want to approve it all, I think we can just approve it in one motion. But if you want to approve some and not the other, we'll need a couple motions.
Do we have STEM any place in the district other than,
Any what now?
do we have a STEM teacher any place in the district just designated as STEM?
Not that's just STEM. At Tolliver, we have the science lab, which kind of does some STEM activities. We have computer science courses, but as far as just a straight STEM elective, I don't think we have one anywhere else.
And as the connection though is when they move into high school especially, we have that, the engineering course, and the young man that teaches aviation and a lot of others, technology, engineering, mathematics types courses.
Yeah, we don't have any engineering at Bates, so this would kind of fit that bill a little bit to get them, to start them on that pathway.
I move that we approve the new STEM halftime position and all the other positions presented.
Anyone want a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Financial report. Do we have anyone presenting on the finances?
Well, she was in transit, so.
Yeah, you're right. Do you wanna, we can wait until, we can skip over it and come back to it.
Okay.
We'll skip over that. Okay. Finance office bond approval, let's go to strategic plan discussion.
Okay, that one's been canceled.
Okay. Amendment to the school calendar, you're up.
I'm gonna throw a lot of dates around, so I'm gonna kind of focus this in. You all should have an attachment to it. We adopted, last year you all adopted a 173-day calendar. To meet the minimum requirement for the state, there's 1,062 hours and 170 days. Our calendar and day pattern is set up that we have, like I said, 173, so that automatically gives us 3 bank days if we wish to convert student days to teacher days. In addition, even with the conversion, we still have an additional 44 hours of bank time. So our student, we're not just doing a minimum with our current schedule. A couple of days I want to point to in the calendar is November 21st and 22nd. That was the day that we had to cancel school for 2 days. And in order to make those days up, we're recommending that we convert May 26th, which was our original closing day, convert it to a teacher day, and also May 30th, that Monday, which would take our closing day originally of May 26th and moving it to May 31st. I'll just give you a second. I think I said that clear enough. Okay. Our 3 NTI days do not, they're noted on the calendar, but do not impact our end of the year. January 27th, the high school had to close, where the rest of the schools weren't. So what we're asking is, that is gonna end up using the 3rd bank day for the district, but it would also cause their closing day to be June 1st. So they would actually go 1 more day, because they have to have their teachers have to make up 1 more day. So and that would still give us our 170 days, student days, with a little over 1,100 instructional hours.
And what would be the last day for students?
The last day of students remains the same, of May 25th.
And graduation?
Should be the same, I think it's the 20, I don't want to speak for it. It should be the 26th.
We'll get that date for sure.
Do you have any other questions? Someone want to make a motion?
So moved.
Yes, I can
Second.
spell it out for the record, though. Spell out the motion to approve these changing days as presented by Mr. Ballard.
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, student accident insurance?
The easiest way, this is just a continuation of the current insurance plan that we took with Roberts last year. We looked at 2 packages last year. We went with Plan 1. They're offering the exact same plan with the summaries of benefits on the third page, the same price as last year.
Awesome.
And I can tell you that they've been wonderful to work with. Very easy, respond very quickly to any emails that I send them.
Okay, yeah, they
I make a motion that we approve the student accident insurance for the coming year.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
have. Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Oil and Mark Trust, looks like they're not here. What is this? Memorandum of understanding.
So this is, last month or whenever you all approved positions, one of them was a JAG position and it was contingent on getting the funding from JAG. So this is the agreement for funding for JAG for next year, and it just needs your approval. Mr. Lumen and Dr. Ross, with your approval, they'll go ahead and sign it, or there may be a signed version uploaded, I can't remember. But we just need your approval to move forward with it. The majority of the position is paid out of JAG money, just like each year.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding for 2023-2024 as presented.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
And then if you don't care while I'm up here, Ms. Wilson texted me and she's hit Lexington traffic, so she's like, is the meeting gonna be real long? And I said, probably not, at the rate we're going. So she said she
We'll go through the
doesn't,
invoice together.
yeah. She said she really doesn't have anything to report other than the statements that you all can see, but she said that if you all have any questions, you could just contact her directly and, or set up a meeting with her and she can do that.
I don't see no reason to do that.
I think, do we still have to approve the financial
Yes.
report and the invoices? And then I'll talk a little bit about the finance bond approval once you all do that, I guess.
Okay. Well, anyone have any questions on the financial report or anything that Dr. Ross, you might have to talk about on short notice?
Well, I mean, I can muscle through it, but there hasn't been any major things outside of repairs. Our biggest cost is probably with cutting up a tree that fell in the front. I think I don't know if we have anything on here, but I know that Mr. Dunn could talk to some of the things that's happening with construction, but I don't even know if that's even things that deal with our financial statement at this point. So I think unless you see anything that's different, let me know.
I think one time there was a president gave a report on collection, tax collections. We was up about 90, we're about 95, 94%, something around like that.
Oh, that was at that point we already had collected 96%.
Okay, all right
They're
then.
pretty high.
Yeah. I make a motion that we approve the financial statement and the payment of invoices as presented.
I will second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, bond.
Yeah, so this is nothing you all have to approve. It's just to let you know that Ms. Wilson is officially bonded.
Okay.
You can see the documentation, so this is always good to have in the board minutes, just in, for audits and in case anybody questions anything. So she is officially bonded. We're gonna go to the bank tomorrow and put her name on the dotted line for our accounts.
Oh.
Let's scroll down to school projects update.
So I'll start with the softball concession stand. I think that's the most long precedent ongoing thing. They've got, the building is being made, they've got the plumbing and electrical ran for it, they're waiting on it to be inspected. It needs to be inspected by a third party. Anticipated delivery date for the building is April 12th. The colors, we want black on the exterior with blue, admiral blue trim. Thinking of kind of marry up with what we've got going on with the other building, what we did with the concession stand and press box, soccer and baseball field. They ran into some problems when they were digging the piers for the foundation of the building, so that put them behind because they hit concrete on, I think there was 12 piers they had to dig, and they hit rock and on I think 10 out of the 12. So that, and then the rain that came in put them behind a little bit more. You have to just dry it all out and then pour the forms in there. They did end up, when they were putting in the electric and plumbing, the contractor, the guys that did it, put it in backwards, so they had to dig that up and switch it, which is,
They didn't read that directions?
no. But it's frustrating because they had to go through that. You know, it puts them behind, potentially behind, but honest, the building's not there. We're, I've got some grace in that. We've got the bait flooring. We did the LVT flooring at bait. It looks great. Makes the room look bigger, and you don't have the ugly rip in the carpet right down the middle of the floor like they did before. The carpet in Gravely is, they're finishing it up. I think they got all the carpet down. Doing the work, stuff like that. The bait HVAC, we've got the VAV boxes that we had to buy from Thermal. They've been delivered to CPS, so they've got those on site. CPS is going to get into bait next, while we're out for spring break, and do some measuring and planning, and they like to get started in June, I guess, you know, as soon as we get out of school, so basically June. Yeah.
Okay.
The lighting for Gravely, we're meeting with the architectural firm on Thursday to discuss what we need to do for that. So we'll discuss that, and also the doors, the interior doors of DHS. I think they will require a VG1 after talking to the architect. The anchor. I've reached out to Carmen. I'd like to have like a price point of where we want to shoot for on how much we want to spend on it. I mean, you know, it's almost $60,000 before. So I'd like to know, you know, how much are we wanting to spend on it?
Was $60,000 an estimated projected cost?
No, that's what the cost was, $58,908.
So have we approved this project as a board?
No, it hasn't been approved, it's just been discussed, at least since I've been here. I don't know if it was
You
approved
didn't
before.
have anything on?
No,
I don't love
no, because the plan was to use ESSER funds, and I think that didn't go as planned, and
It's
it
not,
came in a
it's
lot
not,
more.
we can't use that.
So I mean, it'd come out of our general fund, and that's,
I mean, I almost feel like we need to talk about it as a board, because it seems silly for you to spend a lot of time trying to figure things out if we as a board are like, no, we don't want to do this. Which we may or not be. I just
You know,
I can put it on the work session agenda.
Yeah,
think
please.
it's a good idea.
I'm sorry, Chris, I'm sorry.
I was wondering, is there a timeline that you're looking at on this?
not really.
I think the concern though is that it's at
It's
this
being
location, and
stored
maybe no
where it
society.
is,
Say
yeah.
that, where is it?
Yeah, it's currently in a warehouse on a property called Caldwell Stone.
Okay.
It's inside because it's been sandblasted and primed, so we're
Right.
waiting for paint. So we don't want to put it back out. That if we decide that, the board decides that they want to just do away with that plan, of using the anchor. I talked to Clay Albright, and he said that they could put it out in the field and leave it until we're ready for it, but then we'd have to go through the process of going sandblasting and priming again, but
You can leave it
it
where it
will be
is.
out of the way. But right now, currently, it's in it's in a warehouse they have, so it may come a time when they need to utilize that space, but right now,
How much is that anchor weighing?
It's a lot.
14,000 pounds.
14,000 pounds?
Yes.
Don't want there to be one there.
Okay, so you got,
But the issue is it's so heavy that
Well,
have
that-
to enforce the whole situation.
yes, I was thinking about that kind of weight you put on a concrete slab or concrete slab with rebar, because you're gonna be there a while. That's a concern I have. You know, make sure you put on foundation on it, it's gonna
One of
handle
the
it.
problems with the original plan, where they wanted to have the anchor standing straight up, is they would have to pour concrete down as far as the anchor is tall.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight, a lot of
That's all
concrete,
so.
yeah. And we gotta discuss that.
Well, we'll just have a conversation about that.
Yeah, add that to the work session, please.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Gravely anchor project, any other projects? Is that it?
The through wall at Tolliver that's being repaired by Trimco. When we had a heavy rain, it was flooding. It was coming through and going into the cafeteria. They,
Oh,
a lot of research and figuring out that, so they've come to the conclusion. And what we've got up right now is a Band-Aid on it, but we've got the project scheduled and they're gonna start to work on it.
Okay.
So that and we're covering the skylights at the DHS gym, which has been a problem for many years. They're always leaking and at the most inopportune times, it seems like.
I would say that is a crafty design they have to stop those leaks.
what do they do, maybe?
That is a very crafty
Yeah.
design.
So, but, update on our bus. We've got one of our buses that is scheduled to be delivered April 20th, so, which is exciting for me at least. Because, as you know, one of our spare buses just went down, so.
I started to say,
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, yeah.
The other, the 78 passenger won't be ready until probably first part of August. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's what's going on. Okay. Everyone have time to look at the consent agenda? Any questions? Okay. Anyone want to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I guess if no one has anything else, we can make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay?
I second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.